Hey, what is up, POG Army? My name is Brian Turner from the channel Humorous Fitness. And first off, a huge thank you to Chris Jones for letting me put this video on the POG channel. Like, it's blowing my mind. I've been watching POG since I started YouTube. It's always been something that has inspired me. Chris Jones has taught me a lot of things. I've had the opportunity to train with Chris in the past at the 2014 Mr. Olympia. We've been in contact since then, and he's been a huge supporter of my channel, so I've always been really grateful for that. So thank you, Chris, first off, for letting me put this on your channel at all. Now, Chris and I have a very similar training style, meaning that we do high volume, high intensity, lots of reps, always focused on the size and building the muscular shape rather than just strength training or powerlifting, which a lot of other YouTubers are focused on. For the last 8 years, I've been naturally bodybuilding, and I have a series on my channel called the Coaching Series, which essentially I break down unique exercises and really any type of exercise that you guys want tips and insight on, and I just give you guys my insight, little cues and tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years that have helped me contract the right muscles, perform exercises more optimally, more correctly, to actually get a better result and a better workout from the exercises that I'm doing. Now, I just finished my workout, so forgive me if I'm speaking a little quick. I got the pre-workout all up inside of me. I'm a little bit sweaty, but I want to take you guys through this kind of a different version of a lateral raise. It's called the plate lateral raise. Now, you're probably used to seeing this exercise performed with dumbbells, and the purpose of this exercise is to work your middle deltoid, your lateral deltoid head, right? But with this one, we're gonna go through the same movements, but we're gonna use a plate instead, like you would use for a bench press. Now, you can use any plate you need, and please don't force yourself to use a heavier weight than you need. It's not ego lifting. This is all about feeling the muscle, feeling the contraction, the pump, and hitting the muscle correctly so that we can build those big old round boulder shoulders that you see Chris walking around with. So grab your weights, whether that's 10-pound plates, 25-pound plates, 35-pound plates, or 45-pound plates. It doesn't matter, whatever you need to do to make this exercise work for you. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand up straight with your feet planted shoulder width apart. You're gonna pull your shoulder blades together. You're gonna push your chest up slightly and just fixate everything in your body so that you can push off of it stable. Now, standing up straight, your arms completely straight, give them a slight bit of a bend, and that little bit of a bend, you want to lock your arms like that. You don't want to be lifting with your arms straight because you're going to put unnecessary stress into your elbow, but when you give it that slight bit of a bend and cause everything to be solid and hold that bend, then you're able to transfer all of the stress into your deltoids, which is what you want. I like to start this with the plates completely horizontal to me, meaning that they're completely sideways to my body, and then as I'm moving my arms up, I like to think just slightly about twisting outwards. And this is different because with a dumbbell lateral raise, I would concentrate on bringing my pinkies up as I come to the top of the movement, and that's how I would contract the best way my middle delt. But when I'm doing these plate raises, this is just me, and you can do this any way you want. You have to experiment with you to figure out what angle and what kind of twist and whatnot activates your shoulders the best. But for me, when I do these plate raises, when I go up, I like to think about pulling my thumbs up a little bit instead of my pinky. So it's actually exactly the opposite movement. And again, this is just me. Remember, guys, fitness is different for everyone. Everyone has different limb lengths, everyone has different sized bodies, different strengths and weaknesses, so you have to experiment to see what works for you. But I'm just giving you guys my anecdotal and insight advice that I've picked up from what works for me. So you wanna go from that bottom position with your elbows kind of bent up to the top position with your elbows right at line with your shoulders, not necessarily above. That's something I personally don't like doing. It puts a little bit of stress in the shoulder joint. So I like to come right up to the shoulder and feel my delt contract all the way. Now, something that I like to concentrate from going from the bottom position to the top position is not thinking about pulling my hands up and getting this repetition done by getting my hands up to my shoulders. What I like to think about is that there are strings on my elbows, and those strings are pulling in opposite directions. Not from above me, not from the side of me, but actually from kind of a diagonal angle out. So that way, when I'm coming up, I'm thinking about my elbows going this way. It's something you can't literally do, but by thinking of pulling your elbows up and apart instead of your hands just straight up and down, you're gonna get such a better contraction in your shoulder. When you do this exercise, you want to explode up from the bottom to the top of the movement, but then what you want to do, and make sure that you do this, is control the weight down. That negative, that eccentric portion of the exercise is so important, and too many people you see swing weights up while they're doing lateral raises and then they just flap down. Like, there's so many reasons you shouldn't do that. It's really bad for your shoulder and your elbow joints. Not only that, but at one point you are gonna slam those down. You're gonna get your fingers stuck in between two dumbbells or two plates, and that shit is gonna snap off. You're gonna be bleeding everywhere, and that's gonna be the last time you lift for the next 2 months. Now, with this exercise, I don't like to go too heavy, so I like to aim between the 10 and the 16 rep range. Now, if you're using a 45-pound plate and you're only able to get 4 reps, you need to drop the weight down. Don't Don't worry about your ego, check it at the door, use a 35, use a 25, maybe use a 10 if you need to, because by using those lighter weights correctly, you're gonna make so many more gains than the people who are just swinging all the weights around and feel really cool because they can tell their friends are using heavy weights, but they're not actually making any gains. I would love to hear what you guys think about this exercise. I'm really excited that I was able to put this episode on Chris's channel. Like, it's blowing my mind. If you guys want more of these tips, I do these coaching series all the time, pretty much about every week. So please come over to my channel, give me a subscribe if you want to see more content. If you do like it, please let me know. I would love to make anything that you guys want to see. So give me suggestions in the comments below in this video, and I'll see you guys over my channel. All right, I'm off to go get my post-workout meal. I'll see you guys over my channel. If you happen to give a fuck, see you later.